Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more My Hero Academia. This is Season 3, Episode 7, and Bakugo and Tokoyami have been taken. Hopefully we can get them back, though even though I trust in our students and their strength, it's still 3 on 5, I want to say. Magician, Toga, Dabi, twice, and I forget. But Kurogiri can teleport, so maybe they'll have reinforcements soon as well. So we're at a disadvantage here. I don't know if they'll be able to overcome the odds or not, but looking forward to checking it out. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, take a quick moment, leave a like, and let's get started. So YouTube has been blocking my reactions to My Hero Academia, so the rest of this video is just going to be the commentary, but you can still see the reaction in the link in the description below. We're going to do this for the rest of Season 3. I'll tinker around with Season 4 when I get to it to see if I can get around the copyright issue, but not too optimistic about that. But again, you can check it out still, and let's get on to the commentary. The kids want to go save Bakugo, and I really get where they're coming from, but the pros are pros for a reason. The kids are capable, but several of them are actually on a freaking kill list by the villains, so it would be best to leave it to the pros. That's not going to happen for the sake of the story. I know the kids are going to go in, but I really hope they aren't going to be put in a compromising situation and wind up getting heroes hurt or innocent people hurt or themselves killed due to their inexperience or something. But I don't think this is the kind of show where they would kill off a kid, but I don't want to find out. But I get it. I don't know if I would be able to stop myself if I was in their shoes, and what if my friends was unsafe, was kidnapped, and had superpowers that could possibly help? I don't know. But yeah, Tenya's in an odd place. He's gone through it himself. He's tried to go after Stain, do vigilante work on his own, and now he has to watch his friends go into battle like he did. And 2 of them were with him when he went up against Stain too, so that adds another layer of complication on top of that. Can't imagine what it would be like to be in his shoes right now. Dabi mentioned at some point during the episode that society's trust in UA and All Might is at an all-time low, so the tides are really, really changing, and our kids are all mixed up in it. It'll be interesting to see what they do going forward, but the first half of the episode when Bakugo was taken, I mean, it starts with Vlad King getting into action for the first time when Dabi, a clone of Dabi, shows up. It sounds like it was Twice who creates clones. Super interesting. But yeah, Vlad King's quirk is blood control. When they first said that, I was like, wait, he's a bloodbender? But then I realized it seems like he can only control his own blood. It seems like he shot his own blood out of those gloves. Yeah, it looks like there's a tube that goes from his body into his gloves. But the amount of blood he used, won't he, I don't know, faint of blood loss, die of blood loss? The amount he used was like so much. And he was able to solidify it too, which is really interesting. And I wonder if he's able to use blood that he's already sent out back into his own body. That doesn't seem like it would be good for him. Can he reuse old blood that's been out there for a while? Can he just melt the blood that he froze or solidified and use it again to attack? And maybe he should just like keep huge containers of his own blood around in case of emergency. Quirks are weird in this world. But yeah, Aizawa came in and started stomping on Dabi's clone. The way it was animated was really funny. Just stomp. All the students who were safe wanted to help, except for Mineta, but Aizawa told them to stay because they could be in danger as well. What's interesting is that Twice said Shoto and Deku were on the kill list, but Shoji wasn't. I thought killing anybody would help with their goal of destabilizing Hero Society, but apparently they wanted to go after the strong ones to stem the tide of rising heroes who could one day stand against them, and they didn't think Shoji was enough of a threat to them. I mean, relative to Shoto and Deku, he's not as amazing, but to not even be deemed as a target, that seems weird. And then we have Toga. She seems to have developed feelings for Deku, some sort of I want to cut you open and make you bleed kind of feelings. Very, very romantic. Shoji stops her and we see her have a very serious face for the first time. Would not want to be the person who came between her and her target, which is terrifying. Luckily it didn't seem like she got anybody else's blood. Still has Uraraka's though, but yeah, they were all able to escape with Kurogiri. compress with his sleight of hand, trick Shoji into taking the wrong marbles. Thankfully, Aoyama showed up to save the day a little at the last second. If it wasn't for him, Tokoyami would have been taken too. And I don't know, they would have had to find a way to force Dark Shadow to go on a rampage and set him loose on innocent people for sure. So good job, Aoyama, from stopping that from happening. But yeah, Shoji was able to grab Tokoyami, but well, first Deku froze up from the pain in his arm, and then Dabi was just the tiniest bit faster than Shoto and grabbed Bakugo. Dabi seemed to know Shoto. I mean, all the villains were focused on getting Kachan, but they didn't seem to know the names of the other kids. But Dabi called Shoto by his full name, Shoto Todoroki. So I don't know if I'm reading into it too much, but it's possible he's taken a special interest in Shoto, possibly because they both have fire quirks. And I mean, Shoto hasn't been in the public eye much, so it could have something to do with the fact that his father is Endeavor as well. Because the first thing I thought of when we first saw Dabi, before we even knew what his quirk was that he has a fire quirk and he burned himself with it, and he lost control somehow. And because if someone else burned him, it would look more like Shoto's burn mark, right? And I thought, it's a shame that someone with a fire quirk didn't take him under his wing and teach him properly so he could avoid self-immolating, essentially. And obviously the most famous hero with a fire quirk is Endeavor. So it's possible Dabi became a villain because Hero Society couldn't protect him from himself. And in a world of suppression, maybe he wasn't allowed to use his quirk much and couldn't learn to use it, so he lost control one day when he had to. I could see Dabi blaming or hating Endeavor for that, being the most famous person with a fire quirk, and thus being very aware of his son Shoto as well. 100% could be reading too much into the fact that he called Shoto Todoroki, but from my perspective, it definitely felt like the author was setting something up here, something to keep an eye on going forward, maybe, possibly. But yeah, they were able to take Bakugo, that primal cry that Deku lets out once the villains escape, the look in the eyes of the kids at the end, it was heartbreaking. And yeah, so I understand their desire to want to go out and save Bakugo. Doing nothing when a loved one is hurting or not safe, I don't feel like that's in the nature of most people, and especially people who want to be heroes. I get it. And Kirishima was his best friend. He needs his bro back so that they can bro down. Oh, man. And we also see the bloody scene from before. Seems to be Ragdoll. I thought it was Ragdoll before, and that's confirmed that she's missing. And Tiger and Mandalay are standing over her bloody headgear. I was saying how broken her quirk is, where she can just search up to 100 people at once and know so much about them. So that might be one of the reasons she was taken, or the reason she was taken. That would really suck. Hopefully they get there in time before All Might takes her quirk. President Mike was saying how there was a traitor in their midst, though, afterwards. And I'm not sure about that, because I mentioned earlier, but the first thing that came to mind was that All For One had a quirk that allowed him to track the students somehow. And it could be that there's a traitor, but I don't think there's enough evidence to say for sure one way or the other. All Might does have a penchant for placing an inordinate amount of blame on himself. This was the plan that everybody agreed to keep the kids safe, and he's beating himself up for it, for having a relaxing time in the bath, which, I mean, it's not his fault, but I guess to be the best, you need to be very, very hard on yourself. Doesn't seem like something that's super healthy, but yeah. Principal Nezu said he had plans in place for a while to do something, though, before All Might's ridiculous ringtone interrupted him. A call is here. A phone call is here. But yeah, I wonder what Principal Nezu was referring to with those plans. But yeah, we got information on where the hideout is from a passerby, thanks to Tsukauchi's cop friends, subordinates. And Momo, while somehow being one of the MVPs at the training camp, felt inadequate when all she could do was give All Might and Tsukauchi a freaking tracker for the Nomu. So she's done such a great job. But if you can't tell, I'm a huge fan of Momo, the character and the food. The food are basically just like Tibetan dumplings, and I've only had them once, but they're so good, and I really want to go back, but it is the pandemic right now, so I haven't gotten a chance to get them again. So now I'm craving them. Great. Anyway, damn it. So we can attack the villains on two fronts now. We know where their bar is, I think, and we know where the Nomu is. And assuming those two are different locations and not the same location, we can attack them on two fronts now. And Bakugo, I don't know. I've said all along that it feels like the line between hero and villain seems rather thin with him, especially with a temperament like that. But I don't know. He could be swayed. But what he said to Deku right before he disappeared into the Warp Gate made me think better of him a little bit. He tells him to stay back, Deku. And it's one of the first times I've actually seen where he cares about the safety and well-being of another person. During the USJ, he said he thought his classmates would be okay and take on the small fry, but here he actively tried to protect Deku, like stay away, this is dangerous. And that doesn't rule out the possibility that he turns, but I don't know. It made me think better of him for once, because it's the first time he's trying to protect someone, I think. And it's possible if he doesn't turn, All For One could also steal his quirk. I mean, even if he has similar quirks, taking away the quirk of a top UA student would be devastating for Hero Society as well. So there are a lot of different ways the show could go. It'd be a heck of a thing if they took away Bakugo's quirk, though. That would be a game changer. But yeah, hopefully our hero assaults will let us get our boy Bakugo back. They said they were calling in a bunch of heroes. So yeah, the stakes are getting really high, and we're going to see more high-level quirks than we've ever seen before, I think. So it'll be fun. Oh, man. I'm really sad that Bakugo is gone, but hopefully we can get him back. Hopefully our kids don't get into too much trouble. I'm going to give this episode a 9.5. Cannot wait to see the next episode. Yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube, check out Patreon in the link in the description below for the full reaction or episodes a week early. Otherwise, take a quick moment to leave a like. It really helps with the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.